on Geeks Collide.
Hello everyone out there. This is What Geeks Collect, and my name is Mysterion the Mind Reader. I'm an international performing mentalist and sideshow producer and magician and collector, and I collect toys and all sorts of unusual items. So let me take you on a little trip into my house and share what it is that I love, and that's toys and the unusual. This is one of my favorite pieces. It's a 1939 Ideal Toys Superman. Essentially, this is not only the first superhero doll produced in history, it's the first action figure ever produced in history. And surviving examples in this condition are really rare. To find him mint condition in the box is almost impossible. He came with a paper chain. There isn't even one known paper chain known in existence. No one has one. They're just recorded as being the accessory. I got this piece many moons ago for about 4 figures, but he's worth quite a bit, and I'll never part with him. Even if I had to, I wouldn't sell this one. This one's fantastic. In the mid-80s, WWE dominated the wrestling market. LJN produced a series of popular big giant rubber wrestling figures, while the counterpart, AWA's Remco line, created these types of figures that look more like Masters of the Universe. In the final line called Mat Mania, these 2 figures were produced and are by far one of the rarest wrestling collectibles in the world. This is John Nord, who ended up going to the WWF as the Berserker, and this is Boris Zukov. Each one of these figures in the condition that they're in my hand right now easily fetch $1,000 on market, and that's what I paid for them. They're very rare, and in this condition almost impossible to find. Gordy, Abdullah the Butcher, Rick Martel, the Road Warriors, Ric Flair, even though he didn't even wrestle for the AWA, they made a figure of him anyway. And then the company had the rights to create figures for the Rocky line, so they created a Hulk Hogan so they can be used with the AWA figures. It was a smart marketing tool. Be able to use the competitor's talent in the line to sell figures. This is the complete set of Star Wars figures from 1979 to 1985, including the rare variants such as the long-legged Snaggletooth, only available with the Sears Cantina playset. Yak Face, only available in Canada in the final stages of the toy line. And this incredibly hard to find wind-up R2-D2 that wasn't even made by Kenner. It was made by Takara and released in Japan. And these fetch hundreds on the secondary market. I actually have 2. And this set right here is almost impossible to find in perfect condition and complete. The fact that I even have 13 components is unheard of. This is a 1966 Ideal Justice League playset. All the figures that are good guys are painted, all the bad guys are unpainted. I have the Batmobile and I have the Sanctuary, which could be a combination, I guess, of the Hall of Justice and the Batcave. These are really hard to find. The accessories are next to impossible, that's why I don't have them. I have a premium out there, so if anyone has the accessories, I'll pay 5 times market value, cash, no questions asked. An auction set of these just went for $10,000 on market. They're really scarce. Kiss, the iconic rock band of the 70s, here in form by Mego, the most popular toy company of the era. Mego produced everybody in pop culture, from Planet of the Apes to different superheroes, and here are the Kiss line. And what I find amazing about the Kiss line, a little known fact, is Paul Stanley is actually made from the same mold of Captain and Tennille's Captain. They reused the face, put some hair on him, and some makeup. So essentially, he's the only one that doesn't have his own sculpt. But these are wonderful pieces in box. I got them in New York for a steal of a price, and I remember having them as a kid, and here they are again. Recognize him? No, I'm not surprised. That's because this toy actually is a big flunk and a failure for the G.I. Joe line in the late 70s. You see, he was made to compete with the $6 Million Man, complete with bionic eye, bionic arms, and a really cheesy helicopter accessory that if you could attempt to spin his arm, it spins the accessory around. There's a little wheel there. It doesn't seem to want to work after 40 years. Anyway, there was a lot of bionic knockoffs in the 70s, and I love the bionic knockoffs. There was Pulsar made by Mattel. There were all sorts of different things being made out of Mexico. But I gotta say that this guy in his shorts and his bionic legs has got to take the cake. He doesn't even have a weapon. Two-headed freaks, nature's mistakes, the bizarre, the unusual. This is my cabinet of curiosities, an entire room dedicated to circus freak shows, the unusual and things that are so taboo that I dare bring them to you. Convicted killer John Wayne Gacy, one of America's most notorious serial killers of all time, did a series of paintings while he was incarcerated. This painting here is done by his very hand, and it is a depiction of him as children's entertainer Pogo the Clown. You see, Gacy was a community activist and would go to events dressed as a happy clown, but little did the people know that at night he was a murderer. This is an Asmat ancestral skull. Some people call it a headhunting trophy, but in fact, it's the skull of an ancestor that you would keep in your home. The tribe would go to the skull and touch it and ask it for advice. It would look over proceedings such as court cases, weddings, and family disputes. It was an ancestor, and of course the ancestry of the people were very important, so they kept the actual skulls in their possession for centuries after their death. What happens when two fertilized eggs don't fully separate? In utero, this, the rarest form of Siamese twin, one head sharing two bodies. This pig is about 100 years old and is one of the rarest and most bizarre freaks of nature. People do strange things as status symbols. We wear jewelry, we wear gold, we put our hair in certain styles to look like celebrities. But I would have to say that the most unique are these bind feet. You see, in higher classes in parts of China, children born of the wealthy would have their feet broken at birth. Their toes would be curled inwards towards the soles, and their feet bound. And over years and years and years and years, the feet would not only not grow, but they would become giant, massive, broken balls that are on the end of your legs. Essentially, you couldn't walk, and that was the point. You didn't have to. You had servants to do everything for you. This is an authentic pair of adult bound lotus feet shoes from China, circa 1940. The next time you have stomach pains, why not go to the museum and eat a piece of the mummy? You see, this wasn't an uncommon occurrence in the Middle Ages. In fact, mummies were taken, pounded down to ashes, and consumed for medicinal reasons. The most valuable part of a mummy, of course, was its hand, and in this case it's a mummified hand of a condemned and killed witch. This is known as a hand of glory, and it was used in apothecary cabinets all throughout England, Germany, and parts of Europe. They were not only consumed but carried around as a good luck charm by thieves. You say it was considered a talisman or an amulet that if you aimed it at somebody you could paralyze them. It was considered that if you carried one of these in your pocket you could unlock any lock, so therefore you could break into somewhere with ease. It was the thief's good luck charm, and it is where we in the 21st century get the idea of the rabbit's foot to carry around as good luck, directly linked to the hand of glory.
I hope you enjoyed the tour of the strange, the unusual, and the fun in the toy room.
I'm Mysterion. Check me out at Mysterion.themindreader.com or on Facebook, Mysterion Mind Reader. And I'll see you in my favorite place, the future.